DownHome Sports, covering all the sports in Ellis County. Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas and a bank. Located off of 287 in Midlothian, Texas. And Doe City Pizza and Burgers. For artisan burgers, pizzas, and ice cream, make sure you go where it's delicious to Doe City Pizza and Burgers, located in Red Oak, right across from the high school.
Elite Foot and Body in Midlothian, Texas, off of 663. Make sure you go to get your body rejuvenated after hard workouts and great competitions.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy-to-access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
Hi, we are welcoming in Waxahachie and Ennis baseball, the staff, Coach Tracy Wood, head coach, Coach Jim Miller. We appreciate y'all taking time out of your evenings to join us. Congratulations, by-district champs. Came up a little short in the area round, but overall, a pretty dang good season. I actually want to start with Coach Miller. The reason being, when y'all got into the playoffs between Casey Kelly and JT, your arms were on point. I mean, pitching was not in question at all. Talk about the production you got from those two guys, and then the guys that came out of the pen at the end of those games a couple times to help really solidify and keep those runs to a minimum.
Well, they really did do a good job. Casey Kelly, can't say enough about him. He matured as a player, as a young man, came through and did a really good job for us, which is what a senior is supposed to do. JT got a lot of talent, and he's got his top end is unlimited on what he can do. Really excited to see where that takes him. But Anthony Mott out of the pen, he did a fantastic job for us. We tried to throw him a little bit early, and he kind of got a little nagging injury there for a little while, and we left him out for a while, and then we came in and had him close. And actually, he was going to be our Game 3 starter if we needed it. But unfortunately, we didn't have to do that. But yeah, they did a really good job for us. Kept us in the ball game, gave us a chance to win. Threw up a lot of zeros in those two ball games.
Well, Coach Wood, 10-4 in district, 24-10 overall. Just talk about the season as a whole and how these young men did just what they're supposed to. They went out and competed every day.
Yeah, I told them at the end of the year that there's only one team that doesn't feel like they do at that time. We've won a lot of baseball games, played for a state championship in 08, been to 4 or 5 rounds. But it never matters. You always feel that way. The season never ends the way you want it to, ever. And it doesn't matter what round you go out in or what it is. But, with all that being said, when you step back and look you win 24 games, that's a lot. You get to round 2 in the playoffs, and you step back and look at it, and you got to be proud of it. I'm proud of those kids. I don't know what people know in the community about what these guys went through and how resilient they were as a group. They were, they just kept swinging. When they kept getting hit, they kept swinging. And I'm really proud of this group. This group will go down in my books as one of my favorite groups, just because of the way they competed and the way they kept swinging.
Well, does this not, I mean, the bar for a program gets set by some early teams, right, normally, but does this not elevate the bar for the program and your expectations for how these young men interact and everything else?
Well, the bar is always a state championship. Let's make no mistake about that. Our expectations are going to be high. They're not going to change. They're always going to be high. They were high 10 years ago. They're high. They're going to be high 10 years from now too. When Coach Wood and Coach Miller are gone, somebody's going to be taking care of this program. I'll assure you that. We're all going to make sure of that, correct? But I think you build on it, and we got a saying: you learn from the losses and you build on the wins. And you just hope we build on that with the guys we got back. We've already had a couple of meetings with those guys, and we told them, here's the core group right here. This is who we build on for next year. So it won't be long till we're started with our summer program. We'll be ready to go.
Well, I'm going to ask Coach Miller first, but this question is going to be for both on you. I know Coach Wood kind of touched on it. The amount of outside things that this group has gone through a loss of one of your seniors, through a loss of a parent, and you're having to find ways to, like you said, come to the ball field, let that be a release. Coach Miller, Coach Wood, both of y'all combined have been doing this for a very, very long time. Is this season in and of itself something, and I know Coach Wood touched on it, but that really, even though maybe you didn't go as far as you had hoped, or you didn't win as many games as you had hoped, but as a group of kids that you're going to sit back and go, you know what, that was special. That senior class, like you said with Kelly, the way they came out after everything, all the distractions, they performed. Coach Miller, is this going to be something that resonates with you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Coach Wood and I have been around a long time, and we've done this before, and unfortunately, it doesn't ever get any easier. It's always a tragic thing that happens, and what you do is you tell your players, hey, it's just like you said, this is your place to forget about all that. You come up here and you be a good teammate, and you work on things, and this is your release from all that. This is your release from the school, your daily activities. This is a place where we all want to be and hang out and work towards a common goal. And I think that gives them something to look forward to other than the obvious of what's going on in their life.
Coach Wood, was this season something different, especially coming off of COVID and then everything else, that it really felt like it was more than just baseball?
Agree. Well, first of all, we lose our whole year last year. So we started a summer program. UIL allowed us, back when you was playing, Seth, we couldn't have any contact with you guys at all in the summer. You couldn't open the field. We couldn't do any of that. Well, because of COVID, UIL allowed us to open the field up and coach our kids in the summer. And we started that. We started that in the past summer with all the coaches being involved in that. So that was a good start for us. But, coming into the season, truly, I just kept saying, I hope we play. I hope we play. And as we got deeper into it, and I seen football finish, and I seen basketball finish, I felt good about us doing that. And then, and then a tragic accident with Austin. We lose Austin. We actually have two parents that pass away during the season. We have two dads that pass away. With all that going on, it turned into, we just got to stick together on this thing. And I think our players leaned on each other. Team was huge. And I seen that from our guys. I seen those guys interact with each other. I thought it was pretty special. The way they leaned on each other and took care of each other. And it's what you look for as teammates, that's what you want. But yeah, it was much more than baseball for sure. And like I said, this group will go down as a group that'll be remembered for a long time in my mind, for sure.
Well, Coach Miller, I mean, all the stuff we've been talking about here that's been laid upon this team, how as a group of coaches, do y'all lean on each other? I mean, how do you get through some of these things with these young men?
Oh, absolutely. We've got a tight knit group. We spend a lot of time around each other. So, it's a good thing we all like each other, because all the hours that we spend together and we spend with those kids, we all have the common goal in mind. And Coach Wood's assistants do a tremendous job. They not only of coaching the kids. I don't remember all our records right offhand, but Coach Wood will be able to tell you that. But they also do a fantastic job scouting for us. When we're playing those other teams, and Coach Wood and I got to see him one this year, but usually we don't get to go watch that. So we got to rely on everything that they tell us, and it's right on. They did a tremendous job. And we spent a lot of time together. And I think some of that reflects back to the kids too, and I think they feed off of it a little bit. Certainly, I hope they're feeding off of our enthusiasm and our intensity, because we are that, and I think that if they can get as excited about it as we do, then we're not going to have any problems. Those guys, we were senior heavy, although we didn't play a lot of seniors. We had a lot of seniors on the team, and great kids. And luckily, we had those guys around, because they were a little bit more mature than, if we hadn't had so many seniors. So all that combined helps. And plus you get community support, the parental support, the RBI club support, all of that goes hand in hand in helping those guys,
Well, Coach Wood, when we're talking about that senior leadership, I think a lot of people forget those young men lost that season last year, so they didn't have that year that you normally have to learn from the upperclassmen of what it means to lead a team as historic as Waxahachie. There's a lot of things that go with that. And can you just speak of how even more proud you are of them, probably, since they were able to show that leadership without having that 1 year in between?
Yeah, they did. And, leadership's done in a lot of different ways. And I tell them all the time, lead within yourself, do what you're comfortable with. A lot of it was lead by example, being at the ballpark early, taking BP, hitting off the tee when nobody else is around, taking extra ground balls, and just being a positive influence to those young guys. It wasn't a whole lot of rah-rah. So lead by example was a lot of it. I tell them, lead within yourself. I said, just like Coach Wood has got to be himself, or it's going to come off phony at some point in time. I think they did a good job with leading by example for sure.
Well, Coach Wood, I want to ask for you on your staff, Coach DeLeon, Coach Davis, two guys that played for you on that state championship team, two guys graduated and now have come back to not only give to the program but to the community. As a coach, how good is it to see those guys return, guys that were under you, and now they're getting to coach with you and you're getting to see their development? How's that as a head coach make you feel bringing ex-players back in?
Love it. We look for it. I look for it all the time for those ex guys to come back, because I know they know what it's about. They know what the program's about. They know what the tradition's about. They know what the expectations are. And those guys are phenomenal. They do a great job. I got a great staff total. Couldn't ask for anything more. Lean on them. Over the years, I've given away a little more as far as responsibility goes. Chris DeLeon is a fantastic infield guy. Works with our hitters. Brad coaches our catchers, and also coaches our JV. Phenomenal scout. Best sign stealer I've ever seen in my life. We'll go ahead and tell you now. It doesn't matter if Parker Heights is listening. We had every pitch they threw. We were calling every pitch they threw, and that's him and Will Corbett going out and doing the homework. We got scout sheets. People in the stands have no idea what goes into what we do and how hard our coaches work. But, we got scout sheets with spray charts, where they hit it, what they hit, when they hit it. We got our guys moving. If anybody pays attention, we're moving with every pitch. And it's all because of their work, and it's what they do. They work really hard. I love it that we get to bring those guys back like that, and they do a phenomenal job. I wouldn't trade them for anybody. Funny story. We well, not funny story, but just something reminds me of that. We did a little podcast with me and Coach Mickiff and Coach Turner I don't know how long ago it was, back in the beginning of the season, I think. And we had a little podcast that we did, and just in researching and talking, I figured out that I got 12 guys out there coaching that have played for me, that are out there coaching in different places right now. And when I started thinking about it, doing the research, I couldn't believe there was that many, but there is. That's love to hear that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Coach Miller, I've got to know, Coach Wood talks about stealing signs. Has anybody picked up the color chart yet?
I haven't.
Sometimes our catcher doesn't, but no, a lot of people think they have it for a little while and then it just flips on them. And I've had many of them tell me, man, I still haven't figured that out. You know, you need to get out so you can tell me what's up, you know, how it works and everything. But I don't know. Sometimes I think they do it just by what they're saying and and I'll see somebody at maybe second base and I'll tell the catcher we'll go to touches instead of signs. But and then a lot of times I'll hear verbally from the other dugout and I think they've got them. So I'll change something different, you know, when the catcher comes over, or maybe I'll walk out to the mound and we'll all talk about it or something. But I said, then they continue to holler the same things they've been hollering. So I said, okay, well, they didn't have them, but I'm always suspicious of that. But a lot of coaches said, man, I've tried, I just can't get them. So, you know,
I got to tell you, it's almost like a tight knit fraternity, because I asked Dylan Yates. I said, hey, man, can you tell me what they were? And he's like, no, man, I can't. I got to go to the grave with that. So be proud he didn't give away any secrets. But
well, Corey came to Corey Porter, who caught, you know, back in the day, 88 through 90, I believe he's on the varsity. And he was at one of our games the other day. He said, oh, throwing a fastball right here, huh? So he still remembers it, you know, he knows it. And I said, you still remember it? Oh yeah, I know it. I said, okay. So no, it's good. A lot of the catchers, my son remembers it. Everybody who's been back there and called as many pitches as they have looking at that thing, they'll remember it, you know. I think it's hard to pick up, and I try to flash it real quick and get it done, because there's only one place they're looking. So, you know, hopefully nobody will get it.
well, don't worry. I don't think anybody has it. I don't think anybody's got it.
I hope
No.
not.
Well, Coach Wood, talk about the junior class and below, those guys you had called up. And I know you had a big senior class, but like Coach Miller said, not a lot of them started. You got some contributors in there, but talk about setting the table for next year, the guys that got experience, your leaders like JT, and how you think you guys will be going into next season.
Well, we released all district today. We put it on the board for, you know, you wait till everybody's out of the district, has you know, out of the playoffs where you release it. And I haven't released it to any publications or anything, but, you know, if you look at it, we had the guys coming back. JT was Offensive Player of the Year. It starts with that guy. There's no denying that. He is the guy that makes us go. I think he had a whole lot to do with making us go this year. Him and X were both huge. To say we're going to miss X would be an understatement. But you know, it starts with JT. He was Offensive Player of the Year. You had Jacob Cruz was first team All District. You had Crow, our catcher. Jackson Crow was underclassman of the year in our district. You had Joel Yurcash, who was a freshman. That was our DH. That was second team All District as a freshman. We got some core guys back. We return our shortstop. We return our outfielder. Actually, two outfielders, our shortstop, our catcher, JT on the mound. I think the huge key for us, in my mind, already looking at it, is we've got to find a leadoff guy. We got to find somebody to hit behind JT, and we got to find some more arms. And when I say find them, that don't mean we don't have them already. That just means we got to develop them and figure it out. You know, if they can get it done. I think we got some guys. Caleb Perry, we feel, can be a really good pitcher. Still needs time to develop and get there. I think he can. He's got all the tools. Bryce Marquardt was a kid that was, as a sophomore, we thought was going to be a really good player. Really, I thought ability-wise, he was right up there with JT. And then he hurt his back. He basically he had a L7 break in his back. So he's been on the shelf since day one, and he's going to miss summer ball. And hopefully by the time we start school, he'll be back. We'll see what happens with him. But our JV, I'm sorry, our JV won like 19 games. Our freshmen won like 16 games. We like our freshman class. And so we feel like we got guys in the program that can get that done. We just got to go to work with them and figure that out.
Well, Coach Wood, Coach Miller, thank you all so much for taking time out of your evenings to join us. Thank you for all that you guys do. I know you might not realize it, but you touch more lives than I think you realize. Coach Miller, I'll never forget, you may not remember, I'll never forget my junior year, you telling me to go find myself during the Doing tournament. I'll never forget that.
Go in the clubhouse and find the real Seth Seals and come on, bring him out here.
Yeah, and it worked. But you guys do so much for these young men, and we're thankful. Congratulations, by-district champs, and hopefully we can have you all on again, maybe even this summer, talking a little baseball. We love talking baseball. So thank y'all so much. Congratulations. Go ahead, Coach Wood.
I'll talk baseball any day, every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we need another round table with you, Hides, and Johnson, and bring Miller along with you this time.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
So, well, thank you guys. We appreciate it, and best of luck over this summer getting ready for the next year.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
Appreciate what y'all do for Ellis County sports, man.
Thanks so much.
We're just excited about that first game y'all play next year.
That's right. That's right. We need that 600th win, Coach Wood.
That's
Man,
right.
It's all right, man. There's way more important things than that. The problem with that 600 win is we're going to need 601, and then we're going to need 620.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But anyway, appreciate y'all having us.
Huge milestone.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good evening, and we'll catch y'all later.
All right, boys and girls, guess what? We've got the number 4 in the state for a golf women's team. Coach Bennett, we got Kate and we got Brilliant. Coach, just talk about the excitement going down that week and just getting ready to play.
Well, it was, we came off, we won the regional tournament by a lot. I think we won the Region 2 tournament by like 80 shots or something crazy like that. So we built on that. We had 3 weeks to prepare, really about 2.5 weeks to prepare. The girls were super excited. We went down, we had a relaxed practice round on Sunday, and the girls played a fantastic round on Monday. We were actually paired with Andrews, who had won 9 state championships in a row, and another school. And we were the low team in our group of 3. And then we ended up being day 2 paired with the other 2 teams that were ahead of us barely. And so we had some theater with the weather on the second day, and we only got 27 holes in because we only got to play 9 on the second day. Andrews did show their experience and came back and passed us, but still for us to be top 5 in the state of Texas was great, and I got all 5 of these girls back, so we're super excited about that.
Well, I mean, you should be. I mean, that is a great total for that many holes. Well, Kate, one big thing that I learned about playing golf is there's always one shot in every round. What was your state championship shot that you're going to always remember?
Oh boy. I'll probably remember my tee shot from the first hole because it was all built up, all the adrenaline, and I hit a pretty good shot. I hit it right where I wanted to. So,
and I remember her birdie on 12 on the last day. You remember that? Remember that birdie, Kate? Birdie.
There we go. Well, Brinley, what about you?
Mine was probably the second day when the weather started being crazy and the wind was crazy, and it was a long par 3, and I was barely on the green, and it was a really long putt, and I hit it, and it was going way left, and the wind was blowing so hard that it pushed it like way right, and it ended up like 2 feet from the hole. So
Oh, wow. Man, okay.
It
So
did
did you
get
have,
crazy. The weather did get crazy on us.
well, Coach, was that one of those ones that looked like somebody had a magnet underneath it, pulling it over there?
Well, she must have been talking about on hole 13. Is that right, Renly?
I think it was 17.
17? Oh, okay. Yeah, 17. So we were right there coming in, and we there's two really hard holes out there, Taylor, 14 and 15. And so I was probably back there with them. I didn't get to see that shot, that particular shot that Renly's talking about, but that right there when she was on 17 and we were going through those stretch of holes right there, it got, I mean, the wind was blowing probably 40 miles an hour that the thunderstorms finally came through. And then I guess both these young ladies actually were able to finish. My other three were not. And so we were right in that stretch and ended up having to bring them in. So yeah, it was a little bit crazy.
Well, but you figure out, the weather. Plus, that's a pretty good course on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have, not only do you have the fourth place team finish, but then you've got Cody Nolan that comes in third individually. You got Maddie Sanders who tied for fourth. And, like you said, you're getting everybody back, Just talk about the composure of these young ladies under that kind of scrutiny and pressure.
Well, these two young ladies are here with us right now. They're freshmen. So, I mean, this was a huge experience for them. My other three girls are all juniors, and all three of them were freshmen the last time we went down there. And they got to get that experience 2 years ago, and that hunger and those things that'll push them. Last year we got it taken from us with COVID. So, the experience, like I said, Andrews had been 9-time defending state champion. They lost in a playoff, actually on the fifth score. So, you just can't create that. And so just for them, and I know these two girls right here are already planning out their summer, and so are the other ones, but they just got amped up a little bit after that tournament to go, okay, this is a year from now, we'll be back down there and Lord willing. And they're going to know we're coming because all five of them have got the experience again this year. So yeah, we look forward to that.
Well, Kate, now that the two of you have the experience, and you got upperclassmen that have it as well, and multiple times down there, how much confidence does that give you going into your next season of golf?
A lot. I think, especially during COVID, like none of us had really experienced it. And that helped me a lot because we were all going to be new at this. But now since I know the ropes, I know kind of what to expect. I'm sure it'll be different next year, but I don't know. It helped me a lot.
Well, good. Well, Brinley, one of the big things about being a team, it's an individual sport, but you play with those team scores. And, like Coach said, y'all were in two groups, right? So how great is it at the state tournament versus a normal tournament to be there with somebody to help them out, to line up a putt, to just cheer them on, to tell them, hey, man, great drive?
It's definitely encouraging, and seeing someone else succeed is just nice, and it's good for you, and they're always there for you. You get a good putt and they'll cheer you on. So it's kind of just a back and forth encouragement.
Well, in this tournament too, Tater, you get a little backup on the tee box. And so the girls always love it whenever they get to a tee, because they're not actually paired together.
Okay.
They're with the other girls from the other school. But lots of times if they have to wait, they may, these two might have got to be on the same tee box at different times. So it's always good for them to see each other. And they can't talk about club selection, but they can at least encourage each other and talk about what's been going on for them. And that makes it fun for sure.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Well, ladies, I want to go back to y'all for one more question real quick. There's a lot of young ladies out there across Ellis County that look to play a sport. What would you tell them about golf that will make them not only, the athletes that y'all are, but also the great people that y'all are? What does golf instill to you? Kate, let's start with you.
I play golf because it's satisfying. Not every day, but the days where you hit really good shots, it's the biggest reward. because it's so like easy to mess up a shot, and whenever you get it perfect, it's so satisfying. Like the way it feels, the way it looks, the way it plays. I would say if you like satisfaction, or if you're a perfectionist, then you maybe should play golf. But sometimes you might not if you're a perfectionist, because it can be really challenging.
Well, what about you, Brinley?
I say like if you want to do something that will challenge you, you should do golf, and then it'll end up with like a big reward. Because I started off, golf was so hard for me, and then now it's so rewarding. Like I hit those good tee shots, and so it's just like really nice.
I wished I could hit a tee shot. Let me tell you, okay? I'm in the woods all the time. Well, Coach, one of the big things that's going on, you know, it's great that we have this, and maybe we get some enthusiasm about golf around Ellis County now. But one of the big things y'all have coming up is y'all have some camps coming up as well, that some of these young folks could come out to and at least get an experience and maybe even meet some of these young ladies out at the camps. Do you have the dates on the camps or anything like that?
Yeah, me and Bert Walker, the pro at Prairie Lakes, we're going to run one June 8th through the 11th. I don't know of any other ones. I know Mansfield ISD typically does one over at Mansfield National, but I don't know, because of COVID, I don't know what's going on with them. So yeah, I know Bert also does some other camps throughout the summer. We have some great local pros. I know a lot of the kids are going to Waxahachie. They're doing some things over there. A couple of teachers over there at Waxahachie Country Club. So yeah, there's opportunities for kids. We've got middle school golf going. They have one more tournament if it doesn't get rained out this Tuesday at Glen Rose. They played at Prairie Lakes the other night. That was their second tournament. So, you know, the junior high thing is really good. We missed that last year with COVID. That was also a big thing. You know, these two girls didn't get their 8th grade year, and that was big. I mean, because, you know, as another year, the last time I got to see them, they were 7th graders, and they're on my radar as 7th graders, but they become even more on my radar as 8th graders. Yeah. And so not being able to talk to them about what I wanted them to do that summer. And then, I mean, it was just, you know, just all of a sudden we didn't have that opportunity. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities out there in Ellis County. There's lots of opportunities for kids to play the great game of golf and to get into it. And anytime we can get them, the earlier we can get them started, the better. So I encourage kids to do it. Yeah.
Well, Coach, you know, these two young ladies right here, and I've said this to everybody, and we talked about this last time a little bit, right? Just, they're not only great athletes, but they're great individuals. Most of these young kids, especially the ones that, you know, are reaching high levels, have a high level of achievement in academics as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that's the case with these two young ladies here.
Yes, all 5 of them were first team all district academic also.
See, and that's a big thing, I think, that most people overlook, is that first team all district academic. But, you know, your program, you've instilled with these kids a sense of trust. You know, how do you do that, you know, year in, year out, when, especially when you had that, you know, you had a great year, then a big break, didn't get to talk to the freshmen coming in. You know, I mean, what is your key to success with helping these young ladies out?
Well, most of the time, like you said, it's just easy. I mean, there's nothing to these two girls right here. You know, they're tops in their class. My 3 juniors are all, on the girls' side, they're all very good academically. You know, every once in a while you get kids that struggle a little bit, and they definitely struggle when we miss so much school because of golf. So it's a balancing act, but they also understand that you can't play golf if they ain't passing classes and doing those things. And I have to send an email out to all the teachers every time they're out of school. So it's a big thing that they know that they have to represent the golf team, and because so many of these teachers will never see them play golf. They just see them in the classroom. And if Coach Bennett sending emails all the time saying, hey, I'm taking these kids out again and again, and the next week I take them out again and again. So they've got to stay up on their schoolwork. And, you know, you're right. My kids are, to me, they're the best ones on campus. And I think the numbers would even back that up on about 95% of them in the classroom. So, you know, that usually takes care of itself. But even when they're doing junior high tryouts, I have to tell them that, you know, that they can't make the team if they can't pass classes, because we go year round. Right? Or we play fall golf. We start the first day of school, and we just finished this past Tuesday. So you know, we have a long season. The fall doesn't mean as much. It's just invitationals, but all of the kids play year round for us, and that's it's a big demand. It's a big commitment from their parents. They have to get them to the golf course, like these two young ladies aren't driving yet. We get to the golf course 3-4 days a week that we practice at places, and so it's a huge commitment from everybody involved.
No, I haven't. I had a daughter that played a little bit. I completely get where you're coming from on that. Well, Kate, Brinley, you know, what is the pride factor for y'all in being able to put that heritage stamp in that top 5 as freshmen? Kate, we'll start with you.
I don't know. I think it's just like I've seen other people do it before me, and it's cool that I'm like a part of that now. Because before I used to just like watch from the sidelines, be like, that's cool, I'm gonna go there. And then like whenever I actually came there and like I helped do that and I was part of that, it's really rewarding.
Awesome. Brinley, what about you? Anything special?
Kind of like how Kate said, how like we watched and we saw other people like accomplish all this big stuff. Like we watched soccer win state, and so us like actually like going to state and like getting 4th in the state, like that's pretty crazy. And it's like, I don't know, it's just really cool.
Yeah, we do some things, Tater. We do like a send-off pep rally, and that we recognize before we go to big competitions. So Heritage is a great place. It's been unbelievable, the amount of successes that we've had, and girls golf is right up there.
Well, who knows? We may get the old Midlothian course back open pretty soon, hopefully. And that way everybody doesn't have to drive that far to go play. But
right, exactly.
You know, but Coach, I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, what's going on in the water over in Heritage? Because whatever y'all have got, I think it's like the old Michael Jordan movie, Space Jam. You know, the secret stuff that he was drinking to be so good. What do y'all got going in the water over there? I mean, I know it's the ability of the you got great support, you know, with Coach Wigg as your AD, campus AD. The MISD is supporting y'all big, but is it just a buy-in and an attitude that most of the kids have taken in the athletics program that we can be champions?
Well, I think the girls just hit on it. You know, I mean, they see everything else, and that's the expectation. It's funny you say it because we had a deal the other day. Coach Wiggin brought us all in the gym, and we just recognized each sport. Each sport stood up one at a time, and you just took. And it was only athletes in the room. So, but I mean, it's a lot of kids, you know, from our school that's in that gym. And you just look around, and everybody gave each team a standing ovation because they realized the amount of time and effort that we put into each thing. You know, the Lone Star Cup is a big thing for us.
Yes,
it's kind of like a track meet. They score at points per sport, and we've been in the top 10 every year. We'll be again this year. I think I don't know exactly where we're going to finish. Somewhere around 5-6, I think, this year in the state of Texas. So. It's just the expectations. I mean, these girls, I mean, they expect to go to state every year now. They can win as a freshman, and that's what they expect for next year. And you know, we don't shy away from that at all. So it's fun.
Well, folks, just to touch on what Coach Bennett said, the Lone Star Cup is an accumulation of all points based on your playoffs, your sports, your band. Theater is also included as well. And basically, a lot of teams out there will have their Lone Star Cup trophy up before they have a football trophy up somewhere. It's very prestigious, and y'all have been in the top 10 since the day the doors open, which is an amazing feat.
Right.
But no, Coach Bennett, ladies, I want to appreciate y'all for coming on, and you know, hit them straight. Don't hit them like Tater. Okay, don't play in the rocks. But Coach, can't wait to see what y'all are able to do next year. Great season this year. To both the ladies here and the ladies that weren't able to make the meeting with us. And just can't wait to see what's going on and hear from y'all later on during the year.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tater.
Thank you.
And with today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
you can just pull up to one of the easy to access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC. Here we go.
All right, we're welcoming in Italy Gladiator Softball Team. I'm sorry, the area champion softball team, by district champion softball team, looking to go on to be regional champions and then eventual state champions. But we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
All right. So what we're going to do, since this is the first time we've ever had a full team on, I would like, ladies, just to get your 2 seconds of fame, because you deserve it, go around and introduce yourself. We'll start with the lady in front of Coach T. Rich, Coach Richardson in the mask. You'll just say your name for us, go around the room, and then we'll get down to business.
I'm Courtney.
Courtney?
Cadence.
Hey, Cadence.
And Emily.
Emily.
Macy.
Macy.
Carrie. I'm Kinley.
I'm
Brooke. I'm Denasia. I'm Alyssa.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining us. I know we've had y'all on a couple times, but again, first time a full team, we are honored.
Yes, we are.
So I think Denasia and Brooklyn have stepped up to be our spokespersons for the evening, so we appreciate that. I'm actually going to go to Coach T. Rich because it's the greatest nickname in all of coaching in the back. Coach T. Rich, you didn't give us a prediction. You gave us a spoiler on the dominance of this team. How are you feeling right now as you go into the regional semifinals?
Well, pretty good about everything we've been, saying and we work for. Get a little bit nervous game day, but outside of that, I think these girls are very prepared for whatever comes at them. So it's an exciting time for me anyway.
I don't know why you get nervous. Y'all score like 800 runs a game.
Well, we had a close game the other day, so we actually lost one to Bosqueville. So yeah, it was pretty intense.
See, but you were just letting them feel comfortable so you could come back and beat them 12-1. That's all you were doing. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, Denasia, how good does it feel as a big part of this team, to have a coach that has this much confidence in y'all?
It feels really good to know that T-Rich has a lot of confidence in us. It just makes me feel like whenever we go into the game that we can do it. And she makes all of us believe in ourselves. And it makes us feel like we're a part of a family and not just a team.
Well, Brooklyn, y'all guys have had a ton of success this year. As Coach pointed out, you did drop one to Bosqueville and said a little bit of nerves could be there, but you responded as a team in a huge way. Talk about the emotions and the confidence, not just that Coach gives you, but that you have in each other when you do hit a little bit of a bump, but you respond, you overcome, and now you move on.
When we took that loss, everyone was very upset and everyone took it personally. And I feel like we came together as a team. We woke up the next morning and we worked on things and we fixed things and we came back the next day and we dominated, which is what we're supposed to do as a team and as a family.
Well, and I just got to get some numbers out here, okay? I'm gonna do the hitting. I'm gonna let you talk pitching. Okay, 11-0 in district, perfect. 34-2. Most softball teams don't see that in 2 seasons. Okay, then you got a team batting average of .406. Okay, on base percentage of .496. All right, I mean Candace Hopgood's hitting .545. Macy Cooper .447. Brooklyn is hitting .324. I mean, Denasia, what do y'all got in the water down there? Is that ball been looking like a beach ball all year for y'all?
No, sir. We just do a lot of hitting stations, and we make sure that whenever we go through stations, we're not goofing off and that we're doing everything correct so that whenever we get in the game, we're confident about how we hit.
Well, and one other thing, Denasia, is that because y'all hold each other accountable, not just Coach T. Rich holding y'all accountable, but y'all hold each other accountable as an individual.
Yes, sir. With there being no seniors, the juniors kind of have to step up and make sure we have enough leadership to make sure that the younger ones aren't goofing off and that they're doing everything they're supposed to, even though it's kind of hard sometimes to make sure that we do the right thing.
Well, Brooklyn, I want to ask you offensively, is there a specific mindset that the team has kind of maybe established, or is it just you guys build upon what each individual is good at? Do you sit there and you look and say, hey, as a team, we go up there and we take an opposite field approach, but then we get in the game, and if it's given to us, we take it? Or is it just kind of whatever y'all are good at, y'all go up and see ball, hit ball?
I feel like everyone has a different mindset when they go up to hit, and like some people like can zone out completely and just put the ball in play every time, while other people put a little bit more pressure on themselves. And I feel like we do a good job on the people who do put pressure on themselves, like building them up and making sure that they know they can do it when they go up to bat.
Well, Coach Richardson, this is an amazing thing that I looked at when I was going through y'all's numbers. And you don't see this with a lot of high school teams. Every player played in double-digit games. That is an amazing thing. And, Coach, is that just that family environment and knowing which one of your girls is the right one for that moment in that situation?
Absolutely. We spend a lot of time together. So we, just sitting back, I have 2 other assistant coaches, and we share a lot, duties and stuff, but we all talk about what kid is right for what position, and making sure that they're successful in those, whatever we put them into. So, there's, our bench is deep too. We have several girls that, can hit home runs, and it's the toughest part of my day, or toughest part of my time when we're getting ready to play, is to figure out, okay, who's going to go in this spot and things like that. So, but lots of good girls on this team, lots of good girls.
Well, I'm going to run down some of the pitching numbers, because most softball teams will have one. They'll have one, and they'll throw all the time, which you guys do have a girl that is pretty good, Miss Emily Janik, a nice .55 ERA with 28 wins, not bad. All right, but on top of that, you've got Miss Carrie Scott, 1.37 ERA, 5 wins, and Ella Hudson, a 2.33 with 1 win. Man, a 2.33 being the bottom ERA, and y'all score like 9-10 runs a game. That's impressive. Brooklyn, I'll come to you and ask, as someone on the offensive side of the ball, when you have not just one, not just 2, but 3 potential arms that go in the circle and give your team a chance to win, how much easier does it make it as a whole, behind them on defense, up at the plate, to know that they're going to get their job done, so you in turn can back them up?
It gives us a lot of confidence, and I feel like it just gives us a lot of support. Like, we're not really as nervous because we know no matter what happens, we have 3 options and 3 people who can do the best they can and who can pitch very, very well. And I feel like it gives us confidence on defense and on offense. With hitting, if we don't get all the hits that we want or need, it's okay, because on our defensive side, we have many options that we can use.
Well, I'm going to go off of our 2 keynote speakers here. Emily, I'm going to come to you. How good is it when you're up there pulling that rubber in the circle? You have a team fielding percentage of 946, so your team makes plays constantly. How much comfortable does it make you, especially now that you're getting into these big ball games? And you've been playing big ball games the past few weeks. But as you get deeper into these playoffs, to trust that the defense behind you is going to be there, how much easier does it make your job?
It definitely takes a lot of pressure off my back, because I don't get in there just thinking that I have to strike everybody out. I can just get in there and throw my own game, and if they hit it, I know that my team will be behind me making the plays.
Well, I got a group question, okay? So here's what I'd like you to do. I'm going to ask a question. I want y'all to point to the girl that fits this answer, all right? Now, we've asked some of the girls that have been on before, but there weren't as many of you. So who's the one that's got y'all getting rowdy on the bus, to the game and back. Okay, got the TikTok going. Oh, we have a winner.
It's unanimous.
It's unanimous.
Okay. He's in charge of the music on the bus.
Okay.
So what are we listening to?
Oh my God.
Our team song is Up by Cardi B.
Okay.
Clean version. Clean version.
Okay. Well, Coach, one of the things that does my heart good is to see these young ladies actually getting to sit together again, to be able to bond a lot more. And I know that's a big part of what you told us your program's about, and you constantly hear your players talking about family. What does it do to your heart to be able to see not just the success that your team's had, but just the bonds these girls are going to have for the rest of their life?
That's a tough question because, yeah, I might get emotional, but we you know, since last year with COVID and then this year we've kind of had to overcome some little obstacles or as a group. And right now we're in a really good place. And I they're my girls. I tell them every day after practice or after a game how much I love them. You know, my daughters are grown, so these are who I come to every day. And we live life together. Whatever they're facing, I face it with them. I try to anyway and be there for them. So it means a lot to be a family, and I hope that it continues that way until all these girls graduate.
I'm sure it will. And Coach, I mean, you've had 2 huge milestones and a third one to come, if my numbers are correct. But just talk about being able to celebrate that with these young ladies as close as you are with them.
Yeah, I told y'all from the beginning that we were going to make a run. I've been telling y'all that. And I wholeheartedly believe this is the group. The next 2 years, you guys watch out. We're gonna get there, and we're gonna take it one game at a time. And you know, we're in it. We're in it to dominate. We're in it to win. You know, I remind them to stay humble, because that's you know, a key to all of this. Let's stay humble, keep working on what we need to work on, and move forward. So I couldn't ask for a better group. Not at all.
You may end up needing rotator cuff surgery after you start wheeling all those runners around the base all year long.
Yeah, I think they make fun of me sometimes because I get into it sometimes. And yes,
that's all right.
After the games.
If you're into it, they're into it.
Amen.
So Brooklyn, I want to hear a nice little fire up speech for this next game against. Is it Petrolia? Is that how, did I say it correctly?
Yes, Petrolia.
Give the fire up speech that when we put this out there, everybody's going to be wanting to run through a brick wall to come watch this team play. They should already, but I'm giving you an opportunity to get some people fired up. Let's hear what that speech is going to sound like.
We are just so fun to watch. We're so fired up 24/7. We're yelling in the dugout all the time. We're loud. We always get the crowd pumped up, and we're like getting them to yell for us. When we go up to bat, we're just hitting the ball constantly and just have everyone cheering for us. So just come support because we're going to dominate.
Like
yes.
All right, Naja, and this is something that most people that don't know softball that well don't understand, is those dugouts get loud and proud. And y'all can mess with a pitcher in about 5 seconds. So I want to hear Italy chant. I want to hear one of y'all's chants from the dugout.
We do it right here. Yes. That teammate wearing socks. I saw him take them off. They threw him in the lake. That's why the Titanic sank. That teammate wearing socks. I saw him take them off. They threw him in the ocean. That's why the fish are floating. That teammate wearing socks. I saw him take them off. They threw him in the store. That's why my Grady for
Well, Denasia, is there anything else, you know, like some schools have like a chicken in there, or some schools have drums? What's the big thing that y'all have in the dugout that most people wouldn't see?
We have a cow that we call Piggy. It squeaks. Last year every year we have a new thing. We go to Buc-ee's every year, go into the Woods Grow tournament, and every year we find something, a noisemaker in there, and we just make it our little tradition. And last year we had a chicken, and this year we have a cow named Piggy, and we bring it everywhere with us. And we have,
Next year, y'all gonna keep Piggy if you make it where we've all been saying you're gonna make it?
oh, we're gonna bring Piggy everywhere we go. Bringing him everywhere.
Well, and then we'll go to Brooklyn real quick, but Brooklyn, how great has the support been for y'all this year? You know, I mean, we get to see pictures from, y'all's ISD page and stuff like that. And I don't know who had that bucket hat on, but that thing's gorgeous. But, it just seems like the crowds are getting bigger and bigger. And, is that not making it really exciting for y'all every time just to go out and just, hey, y'all should have come and saw us. You football guys, y'all should have been over here watching this.
It makes us so pumped when people come and watch us and we see like all those people in the stands just supporting us and having our back. And I feel like one of the main things we do is we have tons of fun. No matter like winning, losing, we still have fun.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, Coach T. Rich, what's the breakdown? What's the schedule for this next weekend?
So we play Thursday. We're going to series with Petrolia. We play Thursday at 6 p.m. at Weatherford High School. And then they have graduation on Friday. So we'll get back at it at Saturday at 2 p.m. My expectations is 2 games and we sweep. But if there's a need be, we'll have an if game afterwards on Saturday.
I need to get her to talk to some of these baseball coaches.
I know.
We need to get you to talk to some of the baseball coaches in the county, just tell it like it is.
Well, ladies, we appreciate y'all taking time out of your evening to come and join us. Hopefully Saturday we'll see you, and if so, I will bring the broom. So take care of business Thursday. We'll bring the broom Saturday. But we look forward to what y'all have coming this weekend. And then I know it's one game at a time. We look forward to what's coming in the next weekends as well. Congratulations. Best of luck. Y'all go get them, hit them where they ain't.
Thank you.
In Ellis County, there's only one place to go, Doe City Pizza and Burgers. But don't worry, they got you also covered on ice cream as well. All kinds of flavors made in-house, just specially for you. And toppings to boot, as many as you like. So count your blessings for Doe City Pizza and Burgers and those big old scoops the size of Texas. Made just the way you want. So head on down to Doe City where the service and food are both delicious. Doe City Pizza and Burgers located in Red Oak, Texas, right across from the high school. Come on down and try them. Hey, guess what, Ellis County? Guess who we got? We got Heath Vernor. He's your Ellis County Ennis line. He's a discus thrower, and he made it all the way to state. Heath, thank you for joining us today. And so in area, Heath goes out and he throws a 154.4 on his last throw, and he was behind at the time. So Heath, just talk about that experience of coming from behind, okay, a little bit, because you're normally out in the lead. You're the top dog. You know, well, how did that prepare? You know, I wanted to just ask you how that prepared you to make it to state.
Well, the area situation where I was in second or third and to get into first, that actually happened at region. So I was in third at region and only the top two go to state. And on my last throw again, I threw 164 to get to first. So that actually happened in region two. So that definitely helped me.
Well, and I'll tell you what, though, I mean, but you go from area to 154.4 and you go 10 foot further in regions and become the region champ.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what was cooking that day for you? What was working? Was it your angle? Was it your rotation?
Oh, I had a great day of great week of practice, actually. And it's all about rhythm for me. So all the other guys, they're muscle throwers. They just grunt it out there because they're so strong. But if you look at me, strength isn't really my thing. So I just had to take deep breaths and just trust my technique and just hope for the best, really, because it just flows once I get it going. So,
well, and Heath, what got you into this sport? What made you want to do this?
It was my brother, actually. In 8th grade, I believe he started throwing. And I was in 6th grade and I saw him and I said, I have to do that because it looked so cool. And I had to beat him at it too, because it's always a competition between us. And so, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, you know, one of the things, and most people don't realize this, is if you're a thrower, most people don't come see you, you know, because you're over in another field away from the track area where most of the events take place, you know, because you can normally have the pitch right next to the track. High jumps normally in the middle, and somewhere in the middle over the crazy part, they put pole vaulters, right? But, you know, just talk about the intestinal fortitude, you know, the self-awareness you have to be an athlete that's kind of out there by yourself in these competitions.
Well, you're right. You are usually out apart from everyone, but it doesn't bother me that much. I usually block everyone out anyway when I'm in competition. My mind just completely goes blank and I'm just thinking about the sport. And then for state, though, we were in the middle of the field in front of everyone. So that was definitely quite a change, though. So I was pretty nervous because there was a lot more people than usual watching me. So,
well, not only that, but y'all are in a massive stadium at that point. You know, even the warm-ups had to be intimidating a little bit down there. You know, because I think y'all have. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was just as the running was starting too, so there was so many people filtering into the stadium. So by my last throw, more than half the stadium was filled up. It was exciting.
Well, but I mean, as a sophomore, what do you take from this year's experience that you can carry on for 2 more years?
Well, I am only a sophomore, so
yeah.
But in my mind, I always want to be the best at everything. So I've gotten first pretty much every meet except the state meet, right?
Yeah.
So when I got fourth, it was pretty disappointing for me because I wanted to get first because that's always what I've gotten. So I've learned from that I'm only a sophomore. But then the next few years, once I get stronger and I get more experience, because, you know, the seniors, they've probably been throwing the whole high school career, probably have more experience with the bigger meets. So now that I went to state as a sophomore, I'm used to that now. I can use that whenever I get there as a junior and a senior and just blow everyone away now that I have the strength and the
There
technique.
you go.
So,
well, and you know, and that's one of the things that I think is great is that confidence level that you have. Okay. But the other part is you've earned that confidence level through practice and everything else. The question I'd ask you next is to the young guys out there and the young ladies that are thinking about, you know, being on the track and field team, like in junior high and stuff. You know, a lot of people shy away from the throwing sports. What would you tell one of those young kids why they ought to do it?
Well, one thing that I always say is don't judge a book by its cover, because you looked at me in 8th grade, I weighed half of what those guys weighed, but I could still throw twice as far as them. So never be intimidated by looks. Like, even if you think you can't do it because you're tiny, it's usually not about that. It's just about how good of an athlete you are, or just not even that really. It's just give it a try, and then you'll probably surprise yourself on what you can do. So
that is an amazing comment. I hope a lot of kids hear this. You know, the other part is, I mean, you know, I know you won it first. You've been used to winning, but has it sunk into you that as a sophomore, you are the number 4 thrower in the state? I mean, that is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think it has sunk in, because, you know, everyone's been telling me, oh, 4th in the state. That's still pretty amazing for a sophomore.
Yeah.
So I think it has. Yeah.
Well, and the other part is I don't think people realize y'all got a really good throwing program over there in Ennis. And it just seems like y'all had a bunch of people that were making it to area, you know, and trying to push the limits. And, you know, who's that coach for y'all? You know, you want to talk about your coach a little bit and what they've been able to help you out with?
Okay, so my throwing coach is Hank Hollywood, Coach Hollywood, and he's a really open-minded coach. He lets me go out and practice whenever I feel I need to, because I'm kind of an independent person, and he's learned that about me. And so whenever I feel the need to go out and practice on my own, he lets me go do my own things. And whenever I feel like I need to be recorded and taught, that's when he comes in and breaks it down and does the dynamic stuff. So he's just really lenient on that kind of stuff, because I have had coaches where they have a specific way they're going to do stuff, and it just doesn't work for me as a student. So he's just a great coach overall, really.
Well, Heath, I'm sure you have plans to continue this on in college. Now, during the summer, I know you'll probably be throwing out there some. And I'm not sure about this. This is the reason I'm going to ask you this is, as a sophomore doing some summer, you know, field events, do you get to work on your hammer throw at all? Or is that something that you've thought about? Or are you just like, you know, trying to get those throws in for like the hammer and the javelin this summer some? Or is that something that you have to wait a little bit for?
Well, we do have another coach that knows about hammer that we go to separately. And there is a league during the summer called call it summer track, and that I throw in competitively. And they do have hammer and javelin and all the field events and stuff. So I do throw then. And I threw with them last year, and I made it to nationals in the discus.
Yeah.
So, so I'll be.
Well, I mean, I know how great of a discus thrower you are, but sometimes that discus really translates more to, you know, like a javelin or a hammer, because you can get that rotation going and get that rhythm that you talked about that was so crucial. I was just wondering off the top of my head, because I think those are some interesting events that most people don't ever know about.
Yeah, and then whenever you know it as a high schooler, colleges really look at you. That's what my brother did. He threw for
Yeah.
the summer, and the college coach saw that, and he said, we want you because you already know how to do it. So
Exactly. Well,
Mhm.
Heath, the other part is having good support at home. How much do your parents, I know they probably have taken a lot of time getting you to places and stuff like that, but how great is it to have a good support system?
Oh, definitely. My dad has been my number one supporter my whole life. Sometimes it cares a little too much, but yeah, it's definitely great to have two parents that, care and love for me and, want to see me get better and achieve stuff. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't tell you how proud we are, and all of Ellis County is of you. We know the Ennis Lions are, but Ellis County's proud of you as well. Number 4 in the state, discus thrower. Tell you what, folks, keep your eye on this young man, because guess what? That number 1's coming really soon, probably in about 11 months, if my calculations are right. But Heath, thank you for joining us again today. We appreciate your time, and we wish you the best.
All right, thank you.
Elite Foot and Body Therapeutic Massage and Assisted Stretching. We push our bodies to the limit, trying to gain that extra edge to be ready to take the field when that whistle blows. So take care of the most important equipment, your body, with massage, compression therapy, and assisted stretching. So when you take the field, you're ready to be elite. Elite Foot and Body at 3271 FM 663 in Midlothian, Texas. Call 214-817-8545 to set your appointment today. Howdy. Guess what, folks? We got Heritage Track, and boy, are they fast and can they fly. We've got Leah Anderson. We got Carter Wilkerson. We got Darian Sneed. We got the two coaches that know the mostest. We got Coach Cart and we got Coach Edwards. Well, Coach Edwards, real quick, we're going to start with you. Just talk about – I didn't see you walk away, man.
No, you're good.
But
You're good.
we're just going to talk about these young people right now real quick. One of the things that we've always noticed around here when we've been covering high school sports in Ellis County is these kids are as good at people and good as students as they are athletes. Just talk about that for a second, about these youngsters we got with us.
Yeah, man, it's been a joy, and these boys, being seniors, being around them for 4 years, and see them grow from immature little kids to to men about to be on their own, and so that's been pretty cool to see in their development, and like you said, just good people and good teammates, good friends, and then just Leah, exactly the same boat. She's not a senior, but seeing her grow as a freshman, and last year not getting the full season, not getting the full time together, and then coming in this year and just being a really good example to other girls on the team, and a leader in a lot of ways. And so that was really cool as a coach, just to see from the outside. But again, it's just really cool and a joy in our profession to be able to see them start as young pups and grow and become young men and women, and it's really, really neat.
That's awesome. Well, Leah, I'm going to run down your state placings, and there's quite a bit of them. Long jump, you finished 6th. Triple jump, 1st in the state. 100 meters, hurdles, 1st in the state. 300 hurdles, 2nd. And then you're also Heritage Track and Field MVP. I want to know from a mental standpoint, when you're going up against the best in the state and competing, finishing at a high level in every single one of your events, how mentally do you go from event to event, stay prepared, stay compartmentalized, so that way the moment and being around everything, being at that level doesn't get too big for you?
Well, one thing I do is I like to clear my head I don't like to put too much on myself. Like, what if I do this? What if I do that? I like to clear my head, sometimes talk to the other people competing because we're kind of all in the same boat about it, nervous, getting everything out. So really talking to everyone and just clearing my head really prepares me mentally for the race.
That's got to be a tough thing, dude, because that state arena is massive. And I know by the time they got to the discus throwers, they were just finishing up and the thing was half full at the time. I mean, y'all got to compete in front of what? Coach Carp, I think it was like 30,000 people.
I didn't hear the total, but I would guess you're pretty close. It was nice. It was a good attendance.
I mean, but from going from the backside of a, high school track at your school to going to those arenas, and Derwin, let's go with you on this, man. From going from, Heritage Track, you're running there for district, you're over at Life School for area. What is the massive difference there, and how much more pressure does it put on you to perform when you're performing in front of 30,000?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, definitely from running from like our school, we're used to the school, and we're used to the people around us. And then you get, step up, you're going to places that you're not familiar with. And once you get into the big stage, it's a lot different. And it does make you nervous having so many people watching you. And, you have to, you're out there for a goal to get first. And it just I guess just a massive crowd, sometimes gets to your head just a little.
Oh,
I can imagine.
I can imagine.
Well, Carter, you competed in the 100-meter individually, but you're also part with Derwin on the 4x1, which y'all finished fourth. Kind of talk about, you're a part of a team sport, you play football, and then you've got 4 legs and you're bringing up the end. Talk about, as that's going through, just 1 or 2 miscues or a little step can be the difference between a first or between a second and a fourth, fifth, sixth. Talk about your mindset when the third leg, when Cullen was coming down for the exchange and you're getting ready to go and trying to bring it home for your team.
Well, there's a lot of things that were going through my head, always leading up to it. I'm trying to tell myself, to push out hard, don't take off too soon and all that. But when he gets up there close and you hear the crowd start screaming and everything just everything just leaves your mind. And it's pretty crazy. Like when you come around that corner and everybody's sitting there at the finish line and they're all leaning over the rail and all that, it's crazy. I mean, you try to like calm yourself down and all that, but it's really hard.
Well, Coach Carp, with 2 of the athletes here, I know for sure. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 14 events in high school track and field, correct? Okay. And between 2 of the athletes on here, I know almost 3/4 of the events are taken. I mean, what is the greatness about that and building these young people up and not just making them, great track and field people, but great athletes overall?
That's a great question. And really, that's really one of our pillars here at Heritage Athletics. We really wanted to support multi-sport athletes. And we wanted our athletes to be able to do what we did growing up and play, go from football to basketball to baseball and do whatever they wanted to do. And so it really carries over into track as well. You take an athlete like any one of these, but Leah at the state level, and if she only specialized in just hurdles, look what we'd have missed out on. Yeah. And so to have that opportunity to do what she did at the state level, just it helps us to know that we're making the right decisions and letting these athletes do and accomplish great things in multiple events. So it's fun to watch for sure.
Well, Leah, as a young woman in Ellis County, and you go out there and perform at this big of a stage, at this level, this early in your career, what, as a mentor to other young women out there, do you think this says to them about what all they can do?
Well, I think it pretty much demonstrates if you have your goals in front of you and you really want to work hard to get there, because I had to put in a lot of hard work from sometimes going to 2-3 practices a day just to get in all the training that I needed, because I knew I needed to train a lot and work hard in order to get to how far I've gotten. So really just have your goals planned out what you want to do and always have it in the back of your mind. Because if you don't have your goals like set for you, then you don't know what you want to do. So really have those goals and know what you're going to do to reach those goals.
That is, every kid needs to hear that. Let me tell you.
Derwin, talk about with your track and field team, the aspect of team. When a lot of people look at track and field, they might not think like, oh, that's a team. It's a lot of individuals. Maybe there's a couple that are team events like the 4x that you're running. But in reality, you guys are a tight-knit group. Talk about the camaraderie and the chemistry of that group and how y'all cheer each other on, or there for each other, and the relationships that you build through being on the Heritage Track and Field team.
Well, I mean, I'm blessed to say that the people I ran with, I played football with them, so we have a deep connection. You know, we could joke around, and then we know when, you know, somebody's not going full percent. So we like tap them on the shoulder, like, yeah, like, you need to do better. So like we have that connection, and we just know when somebody's not feeling it. And so it's just like, it's good to just have people that you know that you could joke around with and just be in a good place and just be happy with them instead of somebody that you're not really familiar with. So it's just good, like, to have that group and that connection, because it just builds up and it makes the team better.
Well, and Carter, I mean, at state you played 6th and 100, and you also, ran the 4x and got 4th, but you're also a long jumper. I mean, I know you compete in multiple events. What does it mean to leave your mark at Heritage as the male athlete of the year and set that tone for future generations?
It feels good. I mean, coming into this season, I had a lot of doubts and stuff. I didn't really know how good I was going to do. And really, like, this was like the first year that I really took long jumping seriously. And, I broke our school record early on, and, I was really shocked, and that just pushed me to go even further. And, it feels good. And I'm hoping that, the things that I've done will push the younger guys to break it. I mean, I hope they break it. I hope that they go out there and they push themselves and can beat my times and stuff. So.
Well, Seth, I'm going to say this on air. I think he's a lot better athlete than Jay was. I'm just going to throw that out there. Okay.
Well, Coach Edwards, when you hear the kids speak, like Carter, like Leah, like Derwin, talk about how it makes it easier on you as a coach for the next generation of kids, for that next year's senior class, the next year's incoming freshmen, to point and say, hey, look at this group, look what they did, and look what you can aspire to do, especially when you have, like Tater mentioned earlier, great students, great human beings on top of being great athletes.
Yeah, we always, we have a record board, and we always try to do that and try to beat the record. Who's going to break the records this year? And talking about year to year, Leah's brother ran track for us, and his name was all over that record board. And then when Carter broke the long jump record, that was his. And there's all that kind of passing the torch of, okay, whoever's next in line, it's y'all's turn to go keep this program where it's going, which is up, and try to, we're at regionals, then we were at state, now we're scoring points and being successful at state. Just keep raising that bar higher, which we talk about at the beginning. We want to compete, we want to win a district championship, and we've made big strides in that and been successful with that. But it's it's just it's all the kids and the ones that are working with their schedules, and whether they're going to extra track practices or they're playing softball and playing soccer and coming from basketball. That's a big hurdle for us every year, but we're going to make it work because we want them to be successful. We want our program to be successful, and having these great kids able to do that and working with them, it's very rewarding. It's very, very exciting, and definitely excited about the future too.
Good.
Now, I was going to ask, so Leah, for your senior year, is the goal 4 state championships in 4 different events, or what's the goal going to be now?
Well, I definitely want to be a lot better than I was this year. I want to break all the records that I've set, hopefully get 4 medals again, maybe 5. Yeah, I really just want to work harder than I have this year and be more successful. You know, one of the goals I had was to break 14s by the end of the school year in my 100-meter hurdles. I didn't get there, but if I don't reach that goal this summer, then I definitely want to next year.
Well, Coach Carp, you know, we talk about state medals and stuff like that, but just talk about the PRs that were set by people on the squad this year, you know, and the kids like Colin Stone. I mean, he won your, what is it, the Fighting Heart Award, you know, for Heritage. You know, just that kind of aspect of just becoming a little bit better and challenging yourself individually.
That's a great point. And Colin, you know, we had two winners of that award, and both of those young men set PRs for us this year. You know, Colin Stone was a multi-sport athlete, but also a multi-event athlete, and did a great job in all of them. But you know, he did a great job in the hurdles, in the 110s and the 300s, and ran an amazing race at the regional track meet. Didn't have a clean race in the prelims, but squeaked his way into the finals, and then was winning with 10 meters to go, clips the last hurdle, or he would have been running at state as well. And so, but just the heart and the drive that he showed, you know, not just in the hurdles, but just throughout the year of being here on a daily basis and setting goals like Leah talked about of you know, getting that 39, getting that 38 in the 300s, and that's hard. It's a difficult race, and worked extremely hard to get there. Taven Clark was our other Hart Award winner on the boys' side, and you know, if you don't know Taven's story, he was a senior this year, football player, tore his knee up early in the season, missed 80% of the season, and your heart just went out to him because, you know, any injury is difficult, but when you're a senior and you're looking forward to that senior year, and so our hearts just broke for him. But pretty much from that moment, he starts working for track season. He says, "Coach, I think I can do it. I think I can do it." And so you're thinking about, okay, you're missing your ACL, but you're going to try to spin and throw a discus. I believe in you, Taven, but you know, he's another kid that at our district track meet, we had a record that had been set by Jack Freeman, whatever, 3 or 4 years previous, and he comes out and at the district track meet here at home, breaks that record, throws a 139, and awesome. Throws a 137 right after that. So we had several records broken this year, and our kids did a great job, like Coach Edwards alluded to, and Leah, of just having those goals and working hard to meet them.
Well, and Carter, we want to congratulate you. I believe you are committed to Wyoming, continuing your track career. What interested you in going to Wyoming? I mean, I know the school's good, but it's Wyoming. Okay.
Yes, sir. Well, I actually just signed a couple days ago, but you know, I mean, early on in the track year, you know, I was like talking over with my parents, you know, and my other track coaches and Coach Carp and Coach Edwards. You know, we were starting to look at schools and stuff, and Wyoming was just, well, always was a big deal with me. I don't know why. It's just I always loved Wyoming. You know, I don't know if it was just the nature about it or the, you know, the hunting and fishing up there, but you know, we actually, when we reached out to them, they were very interested, and we started building a relationship early on, and you know, I fell in love with their school and the coaches and all that, and you know, I'm excited to spend the next 4 years up there.
Well, and Derwin, what's up next for you, bud?
As of right now, I'm going to Tech. I don't know if I'm walking on for track or I'm just gonna try to get my master's degree. So like I'm a major in business, and I'll be attending August.
Hey, I will say one of the impressive things is when he said what he was going to do, it wasn't a bachelor's degree. He's going to get his master's degree. That's impressive. Set the ball high, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's goals. And, you know, you might be able to have a chance to run against Carter, too, and wreck him. All right?
I like what you did there.
Yeah, a little pun. But, ladies, gentlemen, we want to thank y'all for joining us today. And we want to wish every one of y'all continued success. Coaches, keep doing what all the Ellis County coaches do here in the county, which is develop great athletes and great people. I always tell people we got the best coaches anywhere in the state in this county. And Y'all have a good one, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to y'all real soon.
Thank y'all very much.
With today's busy schedules, we need flexibility. Pinnacle Bank is the way banking should be. With ATM Live, powered by the people. They have hours that make it easy. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can just pull up to one of the easy to access ATMs, where there's always someone live, friendly, and knowledgeable to help you. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
Howdy, folks, and guess what? We're starting the show out with some good stuff right now. Now, Seth, do you like fish?
I like fish.
I like fish. And guess who else likes fish? These folks right here. They don't just go fishing, they go catching. We got the Midlothian Fishing Club here. And guess what, man? They're number 1 in one association, number 3 in another. And we got the head man here, with Gilbert Miller. We've also got Ashlyn Rowland, Corrigan Gonzalez, Blake Bovair, and Brock Newcomer. Thank y'all for joining us here tonight. And Coach Miller, I mean, you're the boat captain. I know y'all had a state tournament this weekend, and your boat that you captain came in 34th. And just
yes, sir.
Young people and the organization you have.
Well, this is my 5th year working with the fishing team, 5th or 4th. I can't remember. When I first started, I think we had 6 teams. Now this year, we actually had 44 kids, which made up roughly 20 teams. Some teams split and fished different trails. The 2 different trails like formed 2 different teams. So, but this year we had 44 kids, put it that way. What else you need to know?
Okay.
Well, I tell you like this, we are comprised of from middle school, 6th grade up to 12th. We have kids from Dietrich Middle School, Walnut Grove, and what is the other middle school? What was it?
Frank Seal Middle School. And then we have high school students from Midlothian High School and Heritage. And we also have one special kid. He goes to a private school in Dallas, and they don't have a team, and no one would pick him up. And I've known him for some years, so I said, well, you can come fish with us. And that's Seth Prather, and he's the kid that yesterday came in 34th at the state championship.
Very nice.
Yep.
Nice. Well, Blake, coming over to you. I know everybody, not everybody, most people enjoy a little casual fishing. What brought you into competitive fishing and fishing in these tournaments?
I don't know. I just always liked fishing my whole life, so I just thought it'd be fun to fish competitively.
That's pretty cool, man. And Ashlyn, what about you? What got you into fishing?
I've been fishing since I was little, so when Corrigan brought up competitive fishing to me, and I was like, okay, we'll do it.
That's pretty awesome. Hey, Brock, okay, so y'all got teams like crazy out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Fishing. How much, Brock, do y'all support each other, at the weigh-ins and before you go out, or maybe even on a scout?
Oh, we're always supporting each other. Even if somebody comes in without a good bag or anything like that. So we always have a good time.
Good deal.
Well, Corrigan, I'll ask you, for people that don't know that there is competitive fishing out there for kids, for high schoolers and below, kind of talk about the layout of a tournament. What would you expect when you're going out? What are some of the things that you guys do? And what really is it depend from tournament to tournament, depending on what you catch, or is there certain types of fish you're looking for? Is it total number? Kind of explain how it all works.
Well, there's for each tournament there's a 5 fish limit, so you can only have 5 fish in the boat. It's your 5 best, and it's only bass, largemouth, smallmouth, spotted. I think that's it. And
it's just a really cool layout. You know, they have a bunch of tents set up at the weigh-ins and everything, and there's a lot of people there, a lot of boats, and it's just really cool. Yeah.
Well, Coach Miller, what's your advice to these kids when they're out there at these spots looking for these honey holes? Do they is it something? Do they go before and fish out on these lakes prior, or is it something when you get there? Are there things you're looking for to say, hey, this might be a good spot to drop and try to catch some?
Well, we oh my goodness, before every tournament, well, at the beginning of the year we have the schedule. So then the best thing and what most teams do is start scouting. Then, if you're unfamiliar with the lake, that's the best time before the season starts to get out there and just ride around and check out the lake. Some teams are able to practice with their boat captain. Some aren't, because we do have a lot of volunteer boat captains, and everybody's, you know, on a time crunch. I try I do a lot of practice, and before the tournaments, we'll have a pre-tournament meeting here, and we'll kind of go over conditions and what the bite should look like. A lot of times it don't play out that way. A lot of the other boat captains, if they practice, we all just kind of chime in and just kind of give a lay of the land, you know. So we put in a lot of work.
Oh, heck yeah. And Blake, you know, talk about, you know, he mentioned the boat captains, and a lot of this doesn't go on without, you know, you having a captain there. You know, talk about the support that y'all get from, you know, the parents and from other people in the community that volunteer their time to help y'all out with this.
Oh, we get a ton of support from the boat captains. My dad boat captains for one of the trails, and Brock's dad's the captain for the other trail. And yeah, they have to sit there for 12 hours, so it sucks a lot for them, but they still go out there and fish with us. So,
well, Blake, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, but on THSBA, don't they even have to take a polygraph test afterwards?
yeah, I think there's like one random test, and then the top 3 teams, I think, gets one.
Oh, wow. That's pretty, I mean, that's honor system right there for you. Make sure. Well, Ashlyn, go ahead.
Competitive bass fishing is a, believe it or not, very lucrative sport. So you got to keep folks honest, because at some of these tournaments, you know, you're talking $20, $30, $40, $50,000 prize money. So it brings out you know, money always brings out the demons in folks.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, and Corrigan, just talk about, you know, like with y'all having this many boats out there, does that help y'all strategize picking out what lure you want to fish in the morning, you know, one in the afternoon? You know, how does that give y'all a competitive edge?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will use the same bait, so you kind of have to like just find something different and that not a lot of people are using that works. And just kind of, I mean, a lot of it depends on, I mean, the weather and where you're at and what they're eating and time of year, you know, it's just all factors into it.
That's pretty cool.
Now, Ashlyn, how do you guys come up with teams? I'm not too familiar with it in the whole system. Is it basically who you want to or able to get out on a boat with, who you feel comfortable with, or sometimes is there some pairings that go on that maybe like Coach Miller will suggest, or is it all up to you guys?
Normally at the beginning of the year when you sign up, you can have your own partner and your own boat captain. But if you're fishing by yourself during the tournament, you can have a spectator and your boat captain. And then sometimes they'll pair you up with another person who's fishing by themselves. And so it's normally just whoever, pretty much.
During our registration, when they registered, like Corrigan and Ashland, they registered as a team, and Corrigan's dad is the boat captain. So that saves a lot of work on us. But then we do get anglers that don't have a partner, don't have a boat captain. So we kind of then start gauging what grade, age, and expertise, and kind of pair them up together, and then like this year, I didn't want to tell anyone no, so I put a lot of stress on myself. I think I had to find 5 boat captains, but we in the end we got we got a lot of volunteers and we got everybody out on the water.
Now, Brock, give me your craziest story you've had out there in the tournament. I'm sure fishing can get interesting. What's the craziest story you got?
Oh man, I don't know. There's been some wild ones. I think probably going across the lake and losing almost all the poles. That was one of them.
Oh, wow.
Didn't strap them down or nothing. So.
Well,
ask Corrigan. I think she has a good story from yesterday.
Let's spill the beans. Here we go.
Our last tournament on Texoma, I actually fell in the lake twice.
Did that bring you good? Is that's like in horse racing? If you step in manure, it's good luck. Is it good luck to fall in the lake?
Sure.
Okay, there we go. That's the reason you did it then, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, this is not a cheap event to take place in, and how do y'all make that work for you?
Really, Gilbert helps out a lot with baits and stuff. Like, he has so many. He offers us baits, helps us with restringing rods and all that. He's very helpful with all that. And normally it's just whatever.
I can kind of elaborate.
Go.
Well, Gilbert, talk about the opportunities that competitive fishing can give, not only to these young athletes, these kids, but that there are things and there are spots in college to go that it's not. I mean, there's opportunities out there. You don't have to be a football player, baseball player, basketball player,
Right.
that you can find your education paid for and a road to go that route through competitive fishing.
Yep. What I want to back up real quick. As far as financial support, a lot of it is the parents. They fund their anglers. They help support the boat captains. But before the season begins, we do a lot of soliciting of sponsors. And last year we received about 9,000 in monetary sponsorships from local businesses here in Midlothian. And with my connections in the fishing industry, I got a lot of bait companies that send us baits, fishing line. And also we have people that just contact us and say, hey, I got a lot of tackle I want to get rid of. And hey, I'm on my way. I'll go pick it up. Now, as far as opportunities in the fishing industry, it's like a little hidden secret now, but is making its way to the forefront. These kids, they fish for sponsorship. I mean, they fish for scholarship money now. Prior years, we've had a team over there, 3 years of fishing. They accumulated about $8,000 in college scholarship money. That in turn allows them to go to school with scholarship money. But then I also get college reps, coaches contact me and say, hey, we're looking for X amount of teams. Do you have any that are graduating? And I mean, they're offering scholarships to schools. DBU, which is a very expensive school, has a great fishing program, and they offer full rides, just to go fishing. So it's becoming a big thing. And then these college anglers are then going to the pro ranks. If they don't fish professionally, a lot of them are starting to work within the fishing industry with the degrees that they acquire in college. So it's going full circle.
And on those college tournaments, can't the participants, the anglers, win money in those?
They do win some money, but most times it's prize packs. They do win money. The good thing is fishing is not UIL sanctioned, and in college is not NCAA sanctioned.
Yeah.
And I hope they leave it that way, because then the anglers that do the hard work, receive the fruits. So they do win money. They win scholarships, scholarship money towards their years in school. Then they win boats. I mean, it's pretty nice.
Well, I want to ask this just a real quick response from each of you.
Go ahead.
And we'll start with Ashlyn. But Ashlyn, how does it feel? I mean, y'all are fishing two different groups, right?
Yes.
Two different. You got trails and THSBA. How does it feel to be part of the #1 team in it's the trails, right?
Central Texas High School Tournament Trail.
Yeah.
CTHSTT.
There we go. All right. And then #3 in THSBA.
It honestly feels really great. Like the whole team, like, is awesome, and it's awesome to talk about. And a lot of people ask us like how we do it and all that, and it's just really rewarding, honestly.
Cool. Well, Blake, what about you, man?
It's nice. It's really impressive that we got first this year for Central. There's a lot of good kids in there, and THSBA, I think there was like 300 boats at the state tournament. So to be third,
Wow.
that's.
And Corrigan?
It's an honor. I mean, we're just freshmen, and I've never really been a part of like something that's like crazy as this, and it's just it's a really cool thing to be a part of, and it's
Cool. What about you, Brock?
I think they said it all, but yeah, it's amazing to be a part of this, and being able to fish in all these tournaments and being able to win some money and have a good time.
That's cool. And Coach, just before we let you go here, just want to give a shout out also. I know you had the 34th boat at state.
Blake and Brock did win, come in 5th overall, and we'll be heading to the national championship in Lake Hartwell, Lake Hartwell,
That
South
is
Carolina.
awesome. Congratulations. Congrats, guys. That's pretty darn cool, man. I'm sorry. Trying to keep up with those weigh-ins online is kind of tough.
Yes. Yesterday in the rain,
Yeah.
we sat around about an hour and a half after the tournament was over because they were having computer problems and they couldn't get the weights tabulated. It becomes a nightmare when you're a tournament director.
I can imagine.
Well, we want to wish y'all the best of luck because I know y'all season pretty much don't end. Y'all probably pick back up pretty soon and have a great summer out there fishing. Or let's say, as my buddy Nick Owen says, we don't go fishing, we go catching. Okay? So
I wish it was
y'all
that
continue
easy.
on with good work. I know y'all got another year in you. Ladies, congrats. And way to represent the ladies out there in pretty much a male-dominated sport. And folks, if you want to find out about more fishing opportunities around the county, just look up your local town name plus fishing club or bass fishing club, and you can find a way to get hooked up. See the pun there? Hooked up.
I liked it.
All right. And get hooked up and be out there and having a great time. Y'all have a good one now.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Are you hungry for the best burgers, fries, and pizza in Ellis County? Well, stop by Doe City Pizza and Burgers, where the ingredients are fresh every day and stacked up just the way you like them. Custom seasoned fries and burgers right off the grill on in-house fresh homemade buns. So head on down to Doe City Pizza and Burgers, where everything there is delicious. Doe City Pizza and Burgers is located in Red Oak, Texas, right across from Red Oak High School. Make sure you come down and have the best burgers and service in Ellis County.